we come to the climax of your lessons, the fourth lesson. So tell us what happened there. Did they crack it?
This was going to be our last session with the students. And we started with asking them the question that we had left them with in the previous session. Each group had come up with an experiment. And for some reason, all the groups had decided that they're going to have 2 groups of chicken. I don't know whether they discussed with each other, but they all had come up with an experiment where there are 2 groups. One group of healthy chicken and another group with another set of healthy chicken, and they were going to do something with the 4 groups. So group 1 and group 2 had a very similar answer. They said we will put equal number of chicken in 2 groups, and one group we will infect all of them with the blood of somebody who has beriberi, and we are going to keep sampling the blood of these chicken on whom they have injected the beriberi blood, and they will see if they can spot the microorganism or if they can see anything out of the ordinary in the blood. The third group said that we'll have 2 groups of equal number of chicken. One group we will inject with beriberi, and we are going to keep taking the blood and see what is missing in the blood or what is required. Like if there's protein which is less, then we will give it more protein. We'll give the chicken more protein in the chicken's diet. If very, very cutely, they said, if the chicken needs garlic, we will give them garlic. If the chicken needs fat, we'll give them fat. So because their previous sessions on food, they know all these keywords now. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats. So they said we'll give them exactly that. The fourth group had also put them in 2 groups, but it was interesting. They had really given it a deeper thought. They said, one group we will have 98 chicken. And 98 chicken, we'll put them in a huge airy enclosure with lot of sunlight. And the second group of chicken will have only 2. So they were working with a sample size of 100 chicken. 2 chicken, they will put in a very dark, small, tight, packed enclosure where the 2 chicken are very close to each other and there's just enough air for them to survive. So in this group with 98 healthy chicken, they are going to inject half of that with beriberi infused blood, and they're going to see how the healthy chicken get impacted by these chicken in that open airy enclosure. I guess again some inference from COVID, distance, social distancing. I don't know what was running in their mind. So they said airy, sunlit enclosure, big enclosure, and what is going to happen? They're going to study that. And in that small dark enclosure with the 2 chicken, they said we will inject the beriberi blood in 1 chicken. And we'll see how it gets transmitted, what are the changes. They didn't go deeper into what are the parameters that they will study, but they said that they're going to see what changes happen.
So here I have a question, Krithika.
Yes.
Remind them at this point that when Eichmann injected healthy chickens with blood from beriberi infected chickens, he did not see any difference. Did you remind them of that?
Yes.
Because they're all doing exactly what Eichmann did. How do they expect to see infection?
No, so in the previous session itself, they said, no, maybe the incubation period is longer. Maybe it took these animals longer to fall sick. So they were still also Akka, I feel that they didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
They're 8-year, 9-year-olds, and they want to find an answer in their mind. What
that is the only road
best they could do
is
inject. That's the only road they could see. In that, they were trying to diversify and see if they can find something. Yes, definitely. Also, somewhere.
This is what happened also. Scientists were so unwilling to give up this theory that they went down this road only for a long time.
Exactly. So they were just following because we are asking them to come up with an experiment. They know that Eichmann has also done some experiment. In their minds, they think this is the only way possible. So they have gone ahead and designed the 2 groups and they have done it.
Okay. Then what happened?
Okay. So then what happened was we gave them the next story card, which actually has the 4 groups of the 4 experiments that Eichmann had done, 4 groups of chicken, which we took from your story cards verbatim. And we gave it to them and we said, why don't you now read this and try and understand what Eichmann has done. And along with them, even I tried to make sense of the card on the board. So just to give them a direction, because it was a big card. It was unlike the other cards where they were fused.
They're a very nuanced.
Exactly. Because some groups have only 2, one healthy, one unhealthy, polished, unpolished. So just so that they get clarity.
Yeah.
What I told them was, I will be trying to make sense of this card in my own way on the board, just for your understanding. But I don't want to see you do exactly what I'm doing. You can categorize Eichmann's experiment the way you want, pictorially. So I made 4 boxes, and for healthy chicken, I put H with a circle. For unhealthy chicken, I put S for a sick chicken. So, and then beriberi, that, polished, unpolished rice. I had few diagram designs for them, and 4 boxes I made, and then pictorially I tried to put what Eichmann had done. So they did it in their own way. Some actually drew chicken, and for healthy they put H on the head, unhealthy they put S on the back, and they did it in their own ways, just to make sense of what he had done. And we asked them to come up with um, their inference. I mean, the hypothesize what would be the result of these 4 experiments.
Right.
Out of the 4 groups, 3 groups, wherever unpolished rice was being given, fed to the chicken, whichever group out of the 4 groups, they said that the chicken will be healthy. Sick chicken will turn healthy. Healthy chicken will stay healthy. In one group only, they said that whenever an unhealthy chicken, sick chicken, will be given unpolished rice, it won't become healthy, but it will become little better. Slightly conditions will improve, is what that group said.
Okay.
But they were all able to, they actually derived the results that Eichmann had actually derived by this simple understanding that they had got, that polished rice, with the rice without the husk, is causing some disease. And unpolished rice is allowing them to stay healthy and also can cure. Because when the cook's interview, they understood that sick chicken can become better once the diet is replaced.
Right.
So they were able to crack it. The next story card which we gave them was the story card with all the results for the 4 experiments.
Now
and they could
get out of the bag.
Yeah, bag, finally. And they were able to check their answers, and there was celebration. They were jumping up and down, and they say, oh my God, we've cracked it just like Eichmann. We found the answers. But we didn't go into the depth of allowing them to actually form those 4 groups that Eichmann had done.
No,
He had 3 chickens. That was, we felt,
that's too
correct.
Much
even as adults.
We can't do it.
But one thing I would like to share here. So what happened was, among the 4 groups, there was this one group which had said that the unhealthy chicken, when being fed with the unpolished rice, will not become healthy. They'll only, the conditions slightly improve.
Yeah.
So they were feeling a little let down because their answer didn't match, one group. So others were celebrating. So they were a little upset.
Yeah.
And that gave me a chance to step in. And I just called them and I asked them, you think that Eichmann would have made these 4 groups in the first attempt itself? Because in the previous session, they had, the beginning of the session, they showed us 2 groups, and they had done something very different from Eichmann's actual experiment. So I asked, do you think Eichmann would have made these 4 groups, or he would have thought like you guys thought? And how many mistakes Eichmann would have made before he came up with these 4 groups, we don't know. We already know that it's failed on monkeys, it's failed on rabbits, failed on chicken initially, but he didn't give up anywhere. Exactly. Results didn't matter then. We always, in history, even if you see in the history of discoveries or inventions, the only milestones will be put down, that in so and so year, this was cracked. But all the failed attempts, we never see, and how a person would feel. And Eichmann would have probably felt like this group was feeling a little let down with the answer, but he didn't give up. So there was in this a small capsule of life lesson for all the children. Lovely. So we realized that science is so human also, right? Yes. It allows you to bond together, and it allows you to see the larger picture. Take each one. Each one's answers, each one's discoveries matter. Absolutely. In this process, is what we understood. So that's how the session ended. And then a final, after the results were given, a final story card was given to them, which was just reading, where the card tells them that Eichmann was very old by the time. I mean, he was quite sick by the time all this had happened, but he knew that this worked. Polished rice makes a chicken get beriberi. Unpolished rice helps them stay healthy. Is something Eichmann had discovered, just like our students. But he was sick, so he wanted to try this out next on humans. Just like, any scientific discovery they do, like medicines and all, when they're discovering, they first try it out on animals and then they try to do it on humans. He wanted to try it on humans and see if the results are the same. But he was sick, so he let his assistant, Gringe, he steps in. But this is only through reading. And he tried to do it on prison mates. So children asked, why prison mates? They are also humans. And, what if they died because of beriberi? So they were all very concerned. And then they realized, then someone said that, see, you did wrong, no? That's why you went into the jail. Now this, sir, this is your punishment. So don't do any wrong. If you go into the jail, they will test you. They'll use you as guinea pigs. So our work was done. They were answering each other. They were very, very into the process. Like vitamin journey was theirs. Without even knowing that they're talking about vitamins, they had no idea. The word vitamin had never come in the discussions at all. So they said, so, and then the card talks about how Grinch did this on prison mates and had the same result. Polished rice made the inmates sick, unpolished rice kept them healthy. And but the next line says that Grinch, unlike Eichmann, proposed the theory that it's not the presence of something in the rice, the polished rice, but it's the absence because the husk is removed. So something in the husk is probably the cause of staying healthy. And that be not being there makes you get beriberi. So that we put it there, and then the group which had beginning the second session, the group which had said maybe it's not caused by microorganisms became very alert. I said, we told this. We said it in the second session itself. Come on, we need. You should have just told us that. Listen to us at that time. It was interesting. So they read about that, and then we ended that story card with saying that it's important for you to eat healthy. I mean, before that, we of course said that the chemical which was later discovered in the husk was thiamine. And then there are many vitamins present in chemicals present in different food that we eat, which allows your body to stay healthy, different parts of your body to stay healthy. Hence, it's important to eat healthy. Eat a rainbow on your plate. That's how our last story card ended, which is the exact line that was there in the textbook. But it was just one line and it made no connect with the students. But right now, it really made a difference. Eat a rainbow on your plate. They really knew if you don't eat healthy diet, the absence of certain vitamins in your food can make you really sick. So that's where we ended. It was wonderful. The energy was just unbelievably amazing. And they were really serious and they were talking to each other. And then we still had 10 more minutes post the session. So the students, we allowed them to talk to each other. And they also began to share that my mother has so-and-so deficiency. One child said that during COVID, my entire family was diagnosed with vitamin D deficiency. So we were asked to stay in the sun. So it's not like they don't know, but they were making these connections themselves. So instead of us saying stand in the sunlight for some time, drink your milk, or eat healthy, a protein-rich diet, they were bringing it out. One said, my hemoglobin is low, so I take a lot of beetroot, I take a lot of pomegranate. They were solving it for each other. Oh, even I have that. Then you also try it. So that's how we ended. It was a massive celebration of eating healthy, which happened organically.